Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please type the number 1 in the chat box. Let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Morning, Andreas. All right, lots of ones. Afternoon, Kevin. Thank you, everybody. Hey, Marty, how you doing? Fantastic, everybody. Hey, Alex, how we doing? Excellent, everybody, excellent. Okay, as we get started, let's go ahead and do this while I'm doing that. Keep in mind that everything we look at is for education. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance before ever taking on that trade, setup, or indicator. All right. Well, I hope it's been a good trading day so far. It's an interesting one. I will say that. We'll talk a little bit about tariffs and some of that stuff coming up. But let's go ahead and jump right in. Our agenda today is going to go through our follow us page. We got today's trades, so get your trades ready that you've done today, last week, whatever it is. Economic reports, a review of the market, upcoming trainings, weekly training topic, and your stocks review. Hey, Brenda, good afternoon. So here's our follow us page, guys. Make sure you're following along. Sean and I shoot a tremendous amount of content every single week. Last week we did 2 YouTube videos. At the end of the week, we did about a dozen TikToks. We did a couple of other short videos along the way as well. And TikToks are just shorts. They go on Reels, they go on LinkedIn, they go on Facebook, and the likes, right? So make sure you follow along with us there. All right, today's trade. So what trades did y'all do? Drop them in. They could be from today. They could be of trades you finished up at the end of the week. I know it's not always possible on the day that we have class that you have trades that went off there. But let me see how y'all did. All right, so let me bring up for you. So Alex said, very frustrating so far. I had 3 bullish swing trades open and was immediately stopped out of 2 of them today. Day trades have been rough, 2 large bid-ask spreads, severe price swings with the options. Stock goes a little in your favor on a $50 profit, then it goes against you and instantly drops $400 in the blink of an eye. Brutal. Yes, and that's part of that, Alex. And again, it comes with experience, right? But part of that is when you look at today has been a very today is an interesting day because of what's happening with tariffs. They're going to start to kick in now, and this is where the rubber meets the road. And Trump came out and said, yep, every American can start to expect it for a little bit. Excuse me. You're going to have a little bit of pain and costs with what we're dealing with Canada. Mexico announced their rate hikes, their tariffs back against the U.S., and now all of that's been pulled back with Mexico, where they said they're putting 10,000 and their National Guard, I guess, at the border for some of the drug trafficking. And I know Trump's talking with Trudeau today. Lumber is up massively. Lowe's, Home Depot down today. It's a read the room type thing, Alex, right? So when you got that kind of move, that kind of news, I should say, the move that comes against it could be good or bad, depending on the sectors that you're looking at. And some of it comes with experience. For me, a big part of it comes with cutting down the amount that goes into a trade. Very, very, very small number of contracts, one for me today. I wanted to participate, but I did not want to have big numbers in there. Obviously, the ones that went really well, you'd like to have more in, but it doesn't always work that way. Brenda said on the 28th and 31st, a total of 17.42% on SPY last week. Great job. Jennifer said, I made $210 on Netflix. Not a lot, but I'll take it. I did Netflix too today, Jennifer. And she said, I agree with Alex. Difficult, so much news. Yes, exactly. Andre said, QQQ's Friday 2 puts moved below the fib line to 0.236 at 528.60, held over the weekend. Sold them when it moved to the 618 at 511. $2,700 profit. Oh, man, that's a nice one, Andres. Congratulations on that. That is sweet. Very sweet. Lots of congrats for everybody in the chat. And congrats for sticking with it, folks. And here's what I mean. It's frustrating when you have these trades go against you like this. I know. You're not the only ones, right? I did a trade last week in trade with Rob. I think it was last week. Earlier in the week, though. Let me see. Where's Trade with Rob? Here we go. Now we go 17 subfolders deep till I find it. There we go. Got it. Let me bring this up and you can see. Yeah, so this was on, I don't know, I can't see the date. All right, so this was on the 28th, was on Netflix, right? That was Tuesday, said earlier in the week. We didn't get a lot of trades off last week, just the two. Netflix and ILMN were the only ones in Trade with Rob. I could not get any trades off on Thursday for Friday. I was recording and I had a mechanic here doing a windshield replacement and he just screwed all kinds of stuff up. Pulled me away for 2.5 hours that day. It was just crazy. And then family emergency came right behind that. So Netflix was a $522 hit. And what are you going to do, right? It happens. Doesn't make me happy about it, that's for sure, right? Let's see. Made a quick $500 on SPY puts from Marty in Q&A. Okay, nice. Very nice. Brenda said, I just saw someone walk past your window. Okay, it might have been mail carrier, could have been my wife. I have no idea. Could be the PT guy to see if my mother-in-law, if it's my mother-in-law, we got a problem. Because she should not be walking outside past the window. She should not be walking outside anywhere at all. All right, so today, for moi, well, let's see. Let me take this down first. Let's do this. Let me get rid of the Trade with Rob. Let me go open up pop tracking sheet. Actually, let me open up the one contract one. All right, so these are one contract trades, right? Nothing open right now, as you can see. We'll update. This does not have anything on there from Friday, but last week was the 27th forward. So this is how we did from the 27th forward. You could see that we did, and some are mixed up just by dates, right? But they're not all in the right date order. But you got MasterCard was $253. So was Goldman Sachs. Eli Lilly was a little over 1,050. Meta, Facebook was 1,050. Nope, my bad. Lilly was 1,050. Meta was 487. Netflix cost us 682.5, and SPY cost us 175. So overall, if I took the week, and I don't have Friday in here yet, so I haven't done, I'll do pop today, 27. So for the week, we're up $1,189.50, one contract trade, right? A little bit better if we did, on 10 contracts, 10 or 4. We did a little bit better, but overall not disappointed with this at all, right? Leave that there and X out of it. Safe, okay. But today, Amazon was first, right? So what happens with Amazon, right? We had this big gap down, but the important thing was, how did we react off of the 233? Did we get a bounce? And again, everything we're talking about now, because of the massive craziness in the market today, and what does that actually mean? The craziness in the market. We look at the S&P briefly. That gap down, that stretch and bounce took us down from a bearish bias back up into a bearish neutral, back into this blue zone. Everything had a reaction, right? So you're looking at the S&P, and then you shift over and look at your positions, right? Everything goes back and forth. It is not a one-off where you just look at the S&P and you make all decisions. You look at your stocks as well. So Amazon had the gap down, stretched down to the fib line and bounced. So on a 5-minute chart, how did Amazon react? Here was the gap down, and it ran right up. It failed, and it closed right at support. Bounced right from there, ran up into the next resistance. So 234 is the entry. 230, let's see, 236. So 230, that's actually 238. So 237 was our exit. So about $3 in total. So overall, $3 move on the stock. So overall, not too shabby. Right? That was number one. MasterCard, number 2. Right? MasterCard gap down right to a fib line. It stretched down a little bit with the wick, and bounce. So what did MasterCard show us? All right, here's the gap down, and it ran. Okay, so let's go look at a 1 minute candle. Gap down, ran. So I got nothing in the beginning there. Moved up, came back down. We closed on this candle right here at 552.68. Right? 552.13 is our support line. So about 50 cents below is where it came down to, and it bounced. Remember where I talk about we want to see a pullback to support? Doesn't have to come all the way back and then bounce. That's what this was here today. Hold back, don't need it to come all the way back and bounce. Right? Great entry today. Again, we're using the daily, the 5 minute and the 1 minute. We ran all the way up to $564. That's actually resistance. We ran up to a high of 562.84. Our target on this would be 561, $3 below resistance. And that's price based. We've got a set of rules that we use in POP that are price based on this. So we're in, we're out today. We're talking about 550, call it 554 to 561, $6, $7. Overall, nice little move. And then Netflix, that was number 3. Kind of gapped down a little bit, stretched down a little bit further even, and bounced. So how did the 5 minute candle look today on Netflix? Right? Gap down and bounce. Let's go look at a 1. Okay, here we are. So we gapped down, we ran up, we pulled back, we stretched up from it. We were closed right there, guys. The fib line is 968. We closed about 967, about $1 below. We're right in that same zone, right? We bounced from there. We were not stopped out here, did not pull back enough. If you didn't take the trade back here, as it made this close here, pulled back here and bounced, you'd be in the trade, right? Because now you're talking about 968. This candle right here closed at 969.09, so about $1 above. It stretched down on the next one to a low of 968.36 versus 968.05. So now you're talking 31-cent difference of where we stretched down to in a bounce. Either way, you had 2 opportunities to get in there. One a little more aggressive, right? The second one being a cleaner entry without a doubt. Okay? So that was 3 and done for me. All 1 contract trades. Again, everything we talk about is education, right? So we call them all practice trades, but they're all 1 contract setups. Alex said, learning to trade is challenging enough already without the market makers playing hardball like this. Phew. Yeah, well, it is not, you know, I don't remember what the movie was. Actually, I do remember. It wasn't a movie, it was a TV show. It was one of the Blue Bloods episodes where the grandfather went in undercover into a nursing home aging, for aging, and was talking to one of the women in there about, all the tests she gets and all the things she had wrong. And she turned around and she goes, getting old isn't for wimps, right? In a very cute grandma type voice, right? Just awesome the way she had put it. But it's no different here. Trading isn't for wimps, right? And I'm not saying anybody is. What I'm getting at is the weak will fall away quickly. And that's good, right? Because that's probably not best suited for you. But what that also means is maybe you're not a day trader. Maybe it's too fast. Maybe you're not a swing trader. It's too long, right? You've got to find what that mix is, what that right finesse is for you as a trader to get this all down. Yeah, me too, Jennifer. I did not care for the last season. I watched it only because I had watched everything else, but I did not care for it at all. The last, probably 2 seasons, they did it in halves. I didn't care for it at all. Yeah, maybe spreads. Exactly, Jennifer. It doesn't have to be a directional trade. Maybe it's iron condors. Maybe it's covered calls. You just have to find what's best for you. I talked to a gentleman who, and normally if someone reaches out to the company and says, hey, I'm interested in learning more about your company and some of the tools you have and what I might be able to use, I pass that person off to one of my team and they talk to them. This individual came through from a good friend of mine, that he is part of a group called Go Abundance. It's a mastermind group, one that he's been harassing me to join for about a year now. And the guy's got tons of money, makes high seven figures every year in his business. Not personally keeping it, but that's his business, does much greater than $10 million a year in sales. He's got money. It wasn't about, I've got money, let me just throw a lot of money at the market. It was what strategies from my lifestyle, which he's, believe it or not, at what he makes, he's not busy with work. He has other people running that for him. What he's busy with is other things that are important to him in life, a lot of philanthropy type stuff and so forth. How can I go ahead and make money without spending a lot of time? And covered calls, and actually Covered Call Explorer is where we wound up putting him in there. Sorry about that. I don't know why they think that I would answer that phone. That's what we wound up putting him in there because it was the best suitability for him. And that's really what you have to figure out as well. What best suits my strategy? What strategy best suits your personality? That's what a really, really big part of it comes down to. What is going to work best for you? All right. So good trades, everybody. Congrats on those. Yes, Jennifer, I think there is some covered call trainings coming up soon that Tripp is putting on. I don't know if he's in here today. We got a lot of people in here. Let me say, I gotta scroll down. He is. Tripp, you got covered call trainings coming up soon? All right, let me keep going. And if Tripp's not answering, then I think Andrew's in here with us today. You can let me know. Let me see who's in here today. No say. All right, I'm not sure. Okay. From there, let's go look at economic reports. Let's take a look-see. So Forex Factory, nothing crazy. I don't have any special hidden website. I don't care what one you use. Tripp said he's got free trainings coming up in about 2.5 weeks on how to trade his methodology. So keep your eyes open. I don't know if it's on our training sheet yet, but keep your eyes open for that. Let's see. So we've got today, all day is OPEC meetings. This is going to be interesting with the tariffs now. I don't know what's going to come of this. Is there going to be a surprise? Oh, we're going to raise prices or cut production just to hurt the U.S.? I don't know how much of that happens. And the big reason for it is Trump made the arrangement with Saudi Arabia to make that the first place he visits internationally as a president this time for this presidency. And they said they were going to invest billions into the U.S. So how much does Saudi Arabia push into that? I don't know. With that being said, it's still business, right? It's exactly what it comes down to. My wife and I just had this conversation with a tenant that has not had their rent raised in 4 years. And we're talking about how much do we raise that rent? And she feels bad because they're really good people. And we went ahead on Zillow and looked at the entire neighborhood, and they are well over $1,000 under what everybody else in the neighborhood pays. At least $1,000. And very important here, they are literally across the street from a train station that takes you to Manhattan. Right? So, just huge, right? So we'll see what OPEC does, right? Let's see. PMI was at 945. 10 o'clock was ISM. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock is JOLTS. That's a big one. You remember the new president has at least 3, if not 6 months that they can go back and blame the old president. So you're going to hear a lot of that right now. Well, he did this and they did that, and they'll get away with it for a little bit, right? I know who was it? Schumer came out and said, you know, I don't understand how long has he been president. We haven't seen prices drop yet. I'm like, oh my god. Okay, yeah. Prices should be coming down after the day after he got in office. It's going to take some time. Right, 10 o'clock, we got ISM, crude inventories Wednesday as well. Unemployment on Thursday. I don't really care about Waller. I don't expect anything to come out of Waller at all. That's going to mess things up. 8:30 on Friday, average hourly, non-farm payroll, unemployment. They're all the same report. They just derived 3 different pieces of data from it. 10 o'clock is consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. And again, you can click on any one of these folders and read about what that program is and how it works, how often it comes out. Yeah, no 20-year lease, Tom. It's my mother-in-law's home actually, so we're managing it now since she's just not at a place that she can do that. Hey Steve, how you doing? Volume not working. Yeah, I mean, listen, but volume is volume. Market comes crashing down, you're going to see big volume. Market goes shooting to the upside, you're going to see big volume. Where volume becomes an issue is when we've got things like the Fed announcing and reports like that drive some of that as well, right? Okay. So let me bring us back in here. How are we doing on time? We're good. Market review. So Jim said, I still have Bollinger Bands on my SPX charts. Bottom of the Bollinger, 58, 1281. 52-week high, 61, 28, 18 last week. You talked about a 5% pullback. That's 58, 21, 77. You have a line at 58, 22, 31 of confluence. There you go, Jim. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. See, I don't use Bollingers. It doesn't make them bad. I just don't use them, right? But Jim has taken that, figured out how to add a Bollinger Band and or other indicators to his methodology and coming up with an analysis. And more importantly than coming up with it, he's sharing it for everybody else. And I don't mean for someone to just say, hey, I heard that 6 years from now, this company might buy out that company, or this company may not be in business. That I don't care about, right? But if you have an analysis that you've done where you see confluence or you recognize something, share it. That's what this is all about, folks. I'm here for 1 hour to share with you whatever I can. I hold nothing back in here at all, right? I get chastised every single week by trading friends that are in here with me that are like, you're nuts doing this class. Stop doing it now or charge $100 a month for it and, whatever. I share it all, right? So if you come up with something like Jim did, very much appreciated, Jim. Thanks. Thank you very much for that. So let's look at S&P 500. I'm going to sort by symbol here. Makes my life a lot easier. Let me back it up the train, baby. All right, not too much. I'm going to move my symbol grid out of the way for now. Where did she go? It hid. Okay, there we go. Drawing tool. Let's get rid of my crosshairs. Let's get a drawing tool. Nice move, pull back, right? Good move and a step back. Good move, all-time high. Dreaded box of neutrality, okay? From there, and I want to bring this in. That's why I got rid of the blue lines I just drew, right? From there, what do we have happen? Big move to the downside, new swing low, right? Lower swing high, right? A lower high, lower low, slightly, but it was lower. Lower high, lower low. We broke this blue zone right here, which was 6,008, 6,000, and 59.90. So it's basically an 18-point zone, right? It's just a pressure area or an area of confluence, right? An area we may hesitate, like today. We stretched up in there. We got through it a little bit, so we chipped away at the ice, which is important. We opened the door for today, tomorrow, more importantly, for bulls to say, listen, you can go up if you want to. We gave you the authority already. We broke through. We already told them that line of 6,008, you don't necessarily need to hold, right? But when you're looking at this, you've got to look at what's going on. We are in what is now considered to be a neutral bias, right? That's neutral right now for us. We're at a rank of 1. If we're ranking on what's going on right now, it's at a rank of 1. Let me just tone this down. All right, there we go. Phone off. Right, so we're in a neutral bias with a rank of 1. We're running into this blue zone right here. I don't care where it hesitates around here. I would love a small close above here tonight. So if I could get my candle to look more like this today, maybe a little bit of wick on top, that would be great. I would love that candle because then tomorrow I'm looking for a pullback and a bounce, right? That 8 moving average is my next stopping point. And it's important, folks. You have to look at this in a step-by-step analysis, not I need to see, or what I'm looking for is to take out that high. Well, so am I. But if you're waiting to take out the all-time high before you enter a trade, you might be waiting a little bit too long. Might. Your system, your rules, you decide what works best for you. So what am I looking for? Ideally, whether we close where we are today, meaning we close right down here in the blue zone, tomorrow we're going to move up, a retest and a bounce, or if we close above today, the 6,008, retest and bounce tomorrow, that's fine, right? My first consideration is getting above the 8, and that really is important. Next is getting above that 60-60 level. Again, I'd like to retest and the bounce. That's where I'm going to start looking at potential entries. I have a lower swing high here, right? From this, we had put in a lower swing low, which we can actually now mark off. Well, actually, no, hold on a sec. So we had a swing high right here. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Let's get the red one. We had a swing high in here. We came down and put a swing low in there. We put a lower swing high in here. And then what happened? We moved up, we moved up, we moved up. So from when I put that line, we had not really settled yet. Yep, there we go. So it really takes us to, this was our swing low, lower low, and then we had a lower high. We put in a lower low today, and now we're sitting kind of in the middle, right? So as I said, I want to see the move up, bounce, break through here, bounce, break through here. But I've got to break through that 8 moving average. I got to break through the 60, 60. Those are the important lines to me. I need those levels to be busted progressively. And of course, one comes before the other, but I'm not looking at all of this at once. If I get above the 8, could I consider an entry? I could, but I better have a really good setup on a chart of Dell or Microsoft or NVIDIA or whomever it might be for me to take that trade. But man, I get above this 60-60 retest and bounce. It's Katie bar the doors. I'm gonna put a trailing stop on, let's say, as an example, TS, trailing stop, right? We're moving up, moving up, moving up. Life's good. I'm gonna tighten that trailing stop very, very tight when we get up there. If we break through, I'm gonna open that trailing stop back up, right? And I'm gonna let it run. And then we get up to the 61.7235, which is a 100% ABC or a stacking, a doubling pattern for me. Now, this is very important. And once again, when we talk about what you see in the market, what you see, what's important to you as a trader, that's what that line is to me. So if I look at the move from here to here, and I'm going to be off on my numbers just a little bit. Okay. If I duplicate that length of that line coming from the lowest low we had hit up to this ABC, I'm going to do it over here just because I don't need to stretch all the way over to the right. And I'm going to be off by a little bit. I didn't hit it exact, and I'm not trying to. I can make it exact, but I don't care. 411.84. It's not 411. It's 476, 473, whatever it is. Guys, I'm right in the same ballpark, okay? I'm right in the same ballpark. This move from A to B, right in here, this first green line to the far left, is the equivalent of from the lowest low up to this 100%. It's a stacking method. I went ahead, and what actually takes place is if you take this, whatever that height is, and I guess the easiest way to do it is this. Let me go ahead and let's get rid of escape out of that. Let's get rid of those 2 lines. Here, this is probably the best visual I can do. Coming here. See if it lets me. I don't normally duplicate boxes like this. Okay, it did let me. Yeah, it's just not. I don't know how to actually grab this. There we go. Okay. So if I come from this C, so this blue box on the far left that I drew is the same height as this. It's a stacking method, right? And there's a lot of importance, a lot of value to that. And it's the way that I trade channels. It's just a method in how I look at charts, okay? On how things tend to stack. If you've ever followed in Monster Market Movers, as an example, channeling stocks, right? I have my standard channel, and I've got 2 standard deviation moves above and below. So 2 stackings above and 2 stackings below. Let's see. So Ed said, do you like IB, Interactive Brokers, as a trading account? And I have nothing against them. Interactive Brokers is the equivalent of Microsoft Excel. It is the absolute most features you can ever find anywhere inside of IB. A little bit more complicated to work with. And definitely my personal experience with them has been less caring about a customer. When I was with Better Trades, we wanted to go over to them, leaving eSignal, and we told them that we had thousands of people on their platform that we'd be moving over. What can you do for them? And they said, yeah, we don't, thousands of people are nothing. We sign more than that up every day now. So they just didn't care. You were a number, right? They offered to give us some tchotchke for everybody, hats and key rings and, you know, cups and wonderful stuff like that. From a standpoint of what it can do, and if you learn it, it's supposed to be phenomenal. Now, if you're in Canada, my understanding is from Canadian students, they are the best one with market-wise to use there. Now, and I don't know the exact numbers today, but I can tell you from a couple of years ago, 22% of all clearing options cleared through Interactive Brokers. They were the number one as far as the largest clearing of all options trades in the US. So I don't use them. That doesn't mean they're bad. And so, you know, I definitely would love to hear what you think of them if you do decide to go to them. Brenda said, what does a rank of 1 mean? So Brenda, a rank of 3, 2, or 1 is representative of what's going on with the stock in relation to a fib line. So if we close right where we were right here, that would be a rank of 2. Why? Because the moving average is too far away. If the moving average and the fib line were together, that's a rank of 1. If the stock closed kind of in the middle here of the 2 fib lines, that's a rank of 3. 3 basically says we're not trading anything. A 2 says we closed right here. We closed near this line, but there's no fib line. There's no moving average there. It's okay, maybe as an aggressive trade, but it's not a great setup. A great setup is when you have a closing price and a moving average in the same location. That's a great setup, which is where we give it a 1. Let me know if that makes sense, Brenda. Alex said an E-mini think tank last week. Brandon drew a fib on the huge red candle on the SPX December 18th, just one candle. It's a little cluttered, overlaid on the larger fib, but intraday I still see the SPX hesitating and respecting those levels. Yeah, so you're talking about on this big drop down day here, Alex? Last month. On that big day? Yep, yeah, and okay. Just in case anyone finds it helpful, credit to Brandon for the idea and time. So basically what he's saying is, what Alex is saying is Brandon drew an intraday fib line between here and here. And you've got a series of other lines that represent in there. Ironically, our 618 sits right on top of the 59.43 level, right? Pretty interesting. But yes, there's so many things like that. And that's what I'm trying to stress is each and every one of you needs to look at what is the important piece to it. Because I'll tell you right now, if you sat, and I've done this in another company, we did this before, we had multiple speakers who were sitting at a table. There was actually not far from my home, another speaker was teaching in New York. She was invited to go back with a group of the students to one of the homes that they had. The home was empty. They just used it for meeting space and the likes. It was the home next to their home. And I went over there and met her there, and one other person was there, and we sat and got questions of, Rob, what do you think? What do you think? And we went back and forth on it. Well, if you sat Tony, Tripp, Brandon, myself, Amelia, you sat us all down at a table and asked us the question on how we would do this or how we would do that, each one of us is going to come up with a different way. Ryan Litchfield, it wouldn't matter who it is. Each one of us will come up with a different method, slightly different method, but we'll probably all come with the same answer. And Ryan proved that one time on a large stage, big move, and I think it was Google, big move in Google that day. It was an earnings announcement while we were at an event. And he said, look, if this person using Bollinger Bands, if you use the Bollinger Bands the way this person does, this trader does, look, it worked. If you use my stacking method, that's Ryan's method, his stacking, the way that he does it, he said, look, it worked. You use Rob's Fibonacci, it worked. He did 5 different instructors, and every single one of us, it worked. We just have a different way of getting there. I don't care what road you drive on. I just care that you get there safe, right? And that's the exact same thing here. I don't care what strategy it is. I don't care what system it is. I had one of my students, his name was Telfare. Amazing guy, third grade education, spoke hardly any decent English at all. He certainly could never call together a phenomenal sentence in the English language. He couldn't, right? But he was a heart of gold, and he started trading credit spreads. And the only thing, by the way, the only thing he could trade was bullish. He couldn't trade bearish. He'd scratch his head every time and say, I don't understand it. But he got really, really good at one strategy, one technique, and it didn't matter that he wasn't some scholar or a laureate, or he was a great guy that figured out this is what works for him, right? And we all have to do that. Everybody has to. Alex said, back to Brandon's SPX, he did it the day after in lieu of anything else to go on at the time, but I still haven't deleted it from my chart since the XPX still often hesitates and reverses around those levels. Yep. So, Alex, here's a fib for everybody, but here's a fib tip. When you have a candle that is 2 to 3 times the size of a normal candle, and I mean for that stock or that index. So if a normal candle is a $10 move, just picking the number, you have a candle today that's $20 or $30 move, or somewhere in between there. The midpoint of that candle is a support or resistance on that level, period. So I call it a fib strip. Some will call it a fib trick. Some will just call it an intraday candle pattern. Whatever works for you. 50% is a fib number. But the midpoint of that is a key level, right? And then some of the others work off of it. Jennifer said, also maybe too many systems bogs you down. Without a doubt, Jennifer, that is for sure. Jim said, big company earnings coming soon. AMD is on the 4th. Google's on the 4th. Amazon's on the 6th. Could cause the market to move this week, besides Forex factory items. Yeah, so without a doubt. Without a doubt. In the newsletter, we put some earnings in there as well. So when if you're trading a company, you should have some basic knowledge about that company. Earnings reports that they're announcing, what they could or could not, how they could or could not affect your stock's movement, and the likes, okay? So if we look at VIX, let me just click on it over here. I forgot I had another screen. All right, we gapped up today, and we're in the green zone. We're still in a medium, low end of it, but overall, it's still a good move. I mean, the VIX is still in a good place. There's nothing here that's freaking me out, saying, all right, it's time for me to get worried. Not with a move like that. Not at all. All right. Good. Let's go back over here. Okay. So, Andrew, I think you're our admin here. We got to make sure we get Tripp's classes on here for his upcoming trainings. So we got Inner Circle coming up on the 3rd, which is today. On the 10th, we've got Trading You. On the 10th, what did I say? How did I get the 10th? Feb 3rd, which is today. I'm teaching that this evening. Mastermind is tomorrow. Fib Trading Mastery is on the 6th. Okay, so that is, I don't have my calendar updated yet. I'm still looking at January 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Thursday. So guys, for anybody that is either A, taken the live training with me on Fibonacci Mastery, or has then gone ahead or bought the recordings, the trainings for it, whether you did lifetime or annual, it doesn't make a difference. That Feb 6th is a last ditch. Come in there and ask your questions. I am not preparing a whole lot of training for that. You've got 20 hours of training inside of Fib Trading Mastery. This is a place for you to come and ask those last questions. It will be recorded. It will go in the members area, right? But this is the place to ask those last questions. Just writing a note to myself there, guys. Sorry. Andrew dropped a link in there for it, so you can click on that link. It'll take you there. Power Option Plays Covered Call Explorer, E-mini are all on a regular schedule, as is Power Hour and Trading Coaches Playbook. Right? Oh, wow. I did not know we even did this. Get your first month from use the coupon code Presidents. Okay. So, guys, if you're not currently in Monster Market Movers, if you're not, don't do it if you are, because it's just going to charge you the regular price for it. If you're not currently in Monster Market Movers, for your first one, $29. So Andrew just already dropped that link in there. use the code presidents, and it's February 16th. Wow, I didn't even know we were doing this. Let's see. Yeah, Alex said this is my second month in Monster Market Movers. It's friggin' awesome. Yeah, we do well in there. The candidates that come out of there, I trade them all month long, guys. Every month, it's a brand new set of candidates. All right, weekly training topic, right? And that is the AI revolution, right? Very fitting. Whoops, not what I wanted to do. I clicked on it by mistake instead of rolling it. The AI revolution, very fitting with DeepSeek coming out. If you don't know anything about it, go and search DeepSeek China. I signed up for an account the other day, free account with them. I asked it a question about the market, and it said, yeah, I don't have that kind of information. You may want to go and search on the internet. So I wasn't very impressed with it, but that's not the reason it is. And by the way, the big drop here on Friday, that was DeepSeek. That was DeepSeek, right? Causing that, okay? Just as an FYI. DeepSeek came out and it cost for AI, for ChatGPT, which is OpenAI, it costs $100 million to train the large language model, the LLM. $100 million, chip-wise and everything, right? $100 million. China claims DeepSeek costs $5.5 million. Now, they did use some older generation chips. They did get some stuff from NVIDIA. I personally believe they've already used some things that were already done, so they didn't have to redo that again. Can't really count that that doesn't cost you anything, as if yours was cheaper, because if you were first, it wouldn't have worked that way. But there's a lot of, I've watched some reviews on DeepSeek, and there are a lot of opinions that DeepSeek can and will become the new ChatGPT. I'm not convinced yet, but keeping up with these large language models is important, right? Yes, DeepSeek, you got it, Tom, DeepSeek, DeepSeek, right? And I don't know if it's DeepSeek.ai, I don't remember, but I did, like I said, I did register for an account. They are getting tons of requests for accounts, so you may not be able to register when you try. Hit refresh and just keep doing it for a couple of minutes, and hopefully you'll be able to get in there. You may have to come back and do it at 3 a.m. or something Eastern time, and when there's less activity, I don't know. But there's a lot happening on AI right now, and I know a bunch of AI stocks. I mean, we all do, right? Apple is an AI stock all of a sudden, and Google is an AI stock, and Meta is an AI stock, right? And then there are real AI companies like NVIDIA, right, where their chipsets are killer, right? They've got massive advantages in the market. And by the way, the drops that NVIDIA have put in have been huge compared to some of the rest of the market, right, from DeepSeek. Because they talked about their chipsets, and we're not using their chipsets, and we're still able to do this. And so wait, do I really need these expensive chipsets from NVIDIA? And I went ahead and said, okay, I want to have a list of stocks. So I would do my normal research. I would go on Google, I would research AI stocks, and then I go ahead and I spend some time and say, all right, are they optionable? Or even before I do that, I would check volume, right? I want to see the pattern, of course. Are they optionable? Looking at the pattern, obviously, if they have weekly options, it's great. How many shares are they trading? But all of this is time, right? So I wrote a one-line sentence. And that one-line sentence please make a list of 20 AI stocks and include what area of AI the company focuses on, include the volume for each stock, and I forgot to write optional in there. I did write optional, right? And place it in a table format. Notice the very first word is please. Keep in mind to start your sentences with please and or say thank you. So when AI takes over, they remember how good you were to them. Okay, just saying. Okay, so I put that in there. Now you can go put this in multiple AIs. I will tell you this. I'm not going to tell you who I used. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you go over to tradinglikeaboss.com, come down to the middle row where it says level up your trading with AI free AI trading prompts. Download your copy. It is free. Everything on this page is free. If you go there and download this AI document, it is a document. It gives you 10 AI trading prompts that I use, that I created. That's the company, and I tell you who I use. In the video, there's a members area in the video. That video tells you the company that I used, right? I do not find a better one than them, period, the end, when it comes to looking at real-time data, any kind of current information, all right? And this is what this thing spit out. Now, I know the lines are a little small. You know, let me try to do it this way. Let's see. Can I make it bigger without overburdening it? Let's see, 10, yeah, 10 and a half is tight. Yeah, so I need row height, not font. Okay, there we go. So NVIDIA, and these are in no particular order. This is just the way it spit it out, right? 79 million shares, and I think they've got a 30-day volume on it or something. AI chips, GPUs for data centers and automation systems, okay? Microsoft Corporation, 4 million shares. Azure AI, cloud services, and ChatGPT integration, and so forth. Down a little bit further is this. All right. Emerging specialization area. Now, I did not ask you for this. Voice AI, SON, S-O-U-N, leads in dynamic drive-through systems, 90% automated orders. Now, you've heard about California getting rid of all employees in some of the McDonald's, right? With the minimum price, the minimum hourly wage going up to $20 an hour, right? So they went fully automated. That's the kind of stuff they're talking about, right? Things like this, right? AI, industrial AI, TRMBs, generative design tool to reduce architecture planning time by 40%. Okay. Advertising AI, PERI achieves 22% higher CTR's click-through rate, if you don't know it, through machine learning optimization. Click-through rate is when what makes someone click through my ad that they see. That's the click-through rate. That's huge, right? And then it says market leaders NVIDIA and Microsoft maintain 80% combined share in AI infrastructure. Guys, you could then, for me, if I were doing this and wanted to know more about these things, it's even going to give you additional questions at the bottom. Say some other people would have asked this, right? And you could ask that, or you can add to it and ask even more questions. So while smaller caps like QUBT up 2,800% year to date, and SOUN up 856% year to date, show explosive growth potential, right? So this document, all of this, let me do this, came from AI, all derived from AI. All right, so you should be using AI every single day in your trading, right? How will this economic report, what we've got the PPI, the producer price index, coming out today. What category, what industries of stocks will be most affected by a very negative or a very positive reading on that economic report? And let it tell you how you can use that to your advantage. Right? I mean, it's no different than, here's an easy one you don't really need AI for, but if there's a plane crash, God forbid, and this many people, like we just had, right? And that happened when the market is open, you know, how could I take advantage of that? Well, if you know how to trade options, you would go automatically to buying puts, right? On that stock, if the stock were open. But could you take it further than the plane crash, right? For a second, pretend it had nothing to do with, you know, how it actually happened with another a helicopter colliding with it. Forget about that. What if it was considered a mechanical error? And what if it were, I don't know, what if it happened to be a Boeing airplane, just to pick one? It wasn't, but maybe it was, I don't know. But It had nothing to do with it. And it was a Boeing airplane. Could you take advantage of Boeing going down based on the negative news? We've had that for a long time with Boeing, right? And the answer is yes, right? You could use AI to help you learn more on how to do this, right? Dig in hard, dig in deep, right? There's so much that you can derive like this. So here are 20 stocks, not all of them are going to be great. Baidu, right? I like Baidu. Oracle, if you heard the announcement with Larry Ellison, Oracle, right? Where he and SoftBank, there was one other company, it was very early on in the presidency, but $500 million or $500 billion, whatever it was, of infrastructure for AI in the US, right? A lot of money is being invested. Sam Altman, okay, which is, oh yeah, it was OpenAI. That was OpenAI, Jennifer, but thank you. Yeah, it was Altman. So a lot of money being invested from into infrastructure, right? So how can I trade that? Oh, I just heard this. How can I use this and take advantage of it? How can I make money in the market with this? Put a document together of how you trade. Write your entire trading system out. Feed it to it and say, this is me as an options trader. Use this and answer this question. As an options trader, how can I best take advantage of the impending crash in the market, right? And what do I do? Right, whatever it is, I'm making it up, right? I don't have anything planned for that verbiage there, but you get the idea. How do I go ahead? If I teach you who I am, what's the best way for me to make money as a trader? Right? Boom, you just fed it your entire system. Identify, enter, manage, exit. Now all of this is, your trading personality, answer some questions about personality. We've got entire personality things that you can fill out in our masterminds and the likes. Take those documents and feed it to it. Say, okay, this is who I am personality-wise as a trader. My fears, what I'm really good at, what I'm very fearful of, whatever it is. I don't know why I'm getting stuck on these words right now. But you can feed it about your personality, and it can help you understand who you are as a trader and work with you that way. Right? There's so much AI can do. Hopefully, at this point, y'all have grabbed this. Right? Let me see. I'm going to drop in the question I used. The only thing that's missing is I didn't put in the optional here. Right? But that was the question that I had put in. I don't know if it'll let me copy this and drop it in. Let me see. Oh, it does. All right, there are the symbols. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to try to copy the whole thing. It's just not going to work that way. All right, Andres, take care. Oh, Barry, I got to look into that. Thank you. Andrew, make a note of Barry's point. We got to look at that. Jennifer says, I have a watch you usually on my main computer and then also on my phone to quickly take a picture of things. Good, good. Yeah, there you go. It's perfect. I just keep the phone available to take the picture when need be. Let's see. Yeah, I think I feel a new class coming from wealth builders on AI. Would be good. All right, candidates you want to take a look at, drop them in. That's our last segment of our training. What stocks? Roman put in NVIDIA. I love me NVIDIA, still do. It is just awesome stock. I'm going to go ahead and grab all symbols here before I change it over. NVIDIA. All right, so we had a good pattern going for 5 days, and then it fell apart today. All right, it's not a bearish pattern. So if we retest the 117 and fail, we're looking at 111 as our downside, right? So I own a good amount of NVIDIA. It's a large holding for me. I am looking for, I don't know where yet, but I am looking for a settlement and a base to form and a bounce as a place to add to my position. Do I think DeepSeek has knocked NVIDIA out of the game? Absolutely not. 7 out of 10 largest percentage drops of stocks have come on NVIDIA's stock. So they are well known for these types of things happening. So if I get the pull back to 117.5 and the fail, Roman, I'm looking at 111 as my downside target. Brenda's asking for SPY. You're welcome, Roman. Okay. Let's see. So we're right now in a neutral bias, rank of 3. If we can get a move back up to the 598.5 level on this one, Brenda, and a fail, I'm looking at the 586, 86, 98, 12. Okay, yeah, 586 would be my next downside target. QQQ. Let's see. Also in a neutral bias, rank of 2. Retest that 517 and push up to the 522, or run to the 522, close and fail, and then we look for the drop down to 517. Either way is okay for me. I'm good. Right? It could break the 517 on the way to 511.5. Fall down, retest, drop. So there's Qs and then AMD. Let's look at the whole fib. Seven months old, the fib. So we're just feeling mighty low, right? I'm looking at 104, 8 and 4, 12, 13. Yeah, well, we're okay. We're close to fib it there, 9, almost 9. So we're okay. But break that 113, get down to 112 or so, come back up and retest the 113 and fail, and 104 is our next target. Right, you can see how well we've handled that 112.92 level. If I can get a wick to break through, we break away at the ice a little bit, chip away at it, and it opens us wide up. Right, so I hope that helps, Brenda. Alex is asking for FDX. Woo! Smack-a-banger. You're welcome, Brenda. Let's see. Okay. All right, so world of hurt right now on FedEx. Move back up to the 257 and fail. Close near it and fail. Let's see, 43.57, 43.54, 14 points. Yep, we need to split this in half, so I'm going to need, oh, it's an 882. Wow, okay. So the fib is old. Wow, all right. Move back up to the 257 and fail, and we're looking at 250. Break the 250, retest and drop, and we're looking at 243 as our target. So let's see. SOX, SOXS. SOXX. I don't think I said it right. Yeah, so is it $sign SOX? Yeah. If that was a $sign, I think, Alex. No S, it's SOXX. Okay. Yeah, it didn't like it. It froze. Guys, I think we're going to wind up having to call it. My chart froze. It didn't like that symbol. So sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure, Alex. You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. Sorry I didn't get the other ones there, guys. All right. Hey, everybody, listen. Andrew dropped a couple of links in. Go ahead and get registered for the classes like Trips Upcomings training and the likes. Everybody have a great rest of your day. God bless. See you all on our next update, folks. Take care. See you soon. Bye for now.